I've been going through all my stuff to see if I had any miners that I can plug back in that I haven't been running. So if you've ever checked out cryptocurrency mining, if you're one of the incredible people that subscribe to the VoskCoin YouTube channel, we chase passive income, then you may have some mining devices. And so in particular, I haven't had all my box miners plugged in. I've been running the numbers, and almost every box miner is basically worth running if you think that we're going to a parabolic bull run, if not already worth running.
If you want to earn passive income mining without doing any of the mining work, check out Revolution Mining, where they will run your miners for you. Link out below.
So I've got a couple pulled over there. I'm about to plug back in and change their location. And I also just recorded a video about Dogecoin mining, especially with mini Doge miners. And what really stands out is the simple fact that right now, any Dogecoin mining rig that was produced in 2017 or after earns more than it burns in electricity. And so if it does that now, when Dogecoin mining is more difficult than it's ever been historically, that means that retroactively you would have been in the green, right? And I'm running these numbers at like 10, 12 cents per kilowatt hour. So you need to have at least a decent electricity rate. Out here, my rate is between 8 and 10 cents all in effectively. Depending on my location, is the gist of it. And so I'm kicking myself for not running a few of my rigs that I just kind of let sit idly by. I am also hustling to get things plugged back in. Granted, I run about 100 miners already, so it's not like I haven't been mining. But getting a little lax on some of the smaller stuff because I ran out of room, I ran out of space, I ran out of electricity, depending on the time scenario that those things happened. Where this really stands out though for me is we're in the colder months now, and will be for several months. So I can steal a bunch of space in here. So this is what I call it the field building, or VoskCoin HQ. And I'm really recording this to talk about this as a reminder that if you have this stuff, this is an incredible opportunity to earn passive income. We're going into the first US government that is pro-crypto, which is a polar opposite from the anti-crypto establishment that existed under the democratic regime. So some things to understand and think about, that we may very well be entering essentially a super cycle, not just for Bitcoin, but it's also going to be a rising tide scenario. Right, so here's like another miner I need to get hooked on. So this is a HS Box 2, and handshake mining has gone terribly. It's one of the worst mining plays in history, but those miners in particular are actually dual miners, or dual capabilities. They don't mine two coins at the same time, but they can mine handshake HNS as well as Iceriver SC. That's another cryptocurrency that people may be overlooking. Other than the ancient obelisk miners, all of the Iceriver miners are in the green with how well that coin's been doing. And not only is it an opportunity and a reminder to look in your closet, look in your basement, look in your garage, see what gear you may have, and get that hooked up. But also, this is an opportunity to grab a bunch of cheap gear, right? Previous generation mining hardware. You look on Facebook Marketplace, maybe even a little bit of Craigslist, right? Of course, Discord servers, VoskCoin Talk, our mining forum, where there's a classified section, and of course, always eBay. All of these provide opportunities to procure hardware from the secondhand market. And this could be the last call to get stuff like that at a good deal. In the previous bull run, miners that barely made any money were selling for several $100s, if not thousands of dollars. This mining hardware, a lot of these things, I mean, looking at Gold Shell Mini Doge miners, right? Gold Shell SC Box, Even the Antminer L3s have now gone from being essentially just worth their weight in scrap to be carrying a tangible value. So this is just a glimpse of what's to come in our current scenario, in my opinion. And I'm placing my bets accordingly. I'm making moves accordingly with all of this. So at least for me, this is not a time to sit idly by. This is not a time to be going, woe is me, or maybe I'll try it next year, or whatever, right? You don't mess around in the bull run, okay? This is where the opportunity is. More money was made in 2021 than all the other recent years. Of course, some opportunity 2020 and 2022, right? And that doesn't mean that there's not opportunity all the time, sure, whatever. But like, I'm talking like shooting fish in a barrel type opportunity, everybody's winning opportunity. Why do you think that everything was sold out and backlogged and they blamed COVID for forever? It's because everyone had disposable income. Something that I don't think many people feel like they're just drowning in today, especially compared to a few years ago. So anyway, that's pretty much kind of where I'm at, where my head's at. In particular, again, the Dogecoin miners are an absolute gem of an opportunity right now, especially if you already have the hardware. Furthermore, these little box miners, right? And I have my gripes with Gold Shell, and the original Doge miners have a design flaw. Right? We've talked about that stuff here on the best crypto YouTube channel in the world, if I do say so myself, but of course I'm biased. But yeah, sure, okay, whatever, right? Insert whatever other device. I'm just kind of fixated on these little box miners right now, right? Not because like we collaborated with Gold Shell and released a limited edition. I have had plenty of gripes with Gold Shell. They've absolutely price gouged at times in history, which is just disgusting. Right, and I bring that up as a bit of a disclosure too, if you didn't know either of those things potentially. But my point here really being is these devices are small, they're cheaper, relatively efficient. Right? They're more accessible. Many people haven't made similar devices. You may never know about the little Ivy Link box miners. They released a Cadena mini miner as well as a CKB mini miner. Both of them are right here. For whatever reason, there's a Cadena sticker on both of them, but one says K3 and one says N3. N3 is Nervos, K3 is Cadena. But yeah, of course you can use bigger miners, but I'm just talking about my situation where I have a lot of these box miners. Right? They're the first thing to start to neglect for me because they're smaller, right? Of course, my S21 Pro over there is plugged in. Yep. But we look at other things like the box miners. I'm already running 100 miners out here. Those are gonna be the first miners that say, I don't know if I wanna deal with that one today, or it's the easiest one to push off. And it's the easiest one to get into based on a price point, volume, accessibility, all that stuff. Obviously, ideally, you run full-size miners, right? Things like the Bitmain Antminer S21, the Bitmain Antminer L9, the What's Miner M60. Pick whatever model that you want there. So you really get economies of scale as you get up into the bigger miners. You earn more passive income, but you need to have a dedicated electric circuit, right? So like for example, over here, I've got some 30 amp, 240 voltage circuits wired up, my handy dandy meter boxes, which are cool. I'm pretty pissed though. I recently realized that you can max out the kilowatt hour tracking on the Drock meters that these come with, and those are the ones everyone pretty much uses on stuff. So we collaborated with them on a VoskCoin edition. You can actually still order it if you want it, but yeah, something worth checking out. I've got their original injection molded black ones over here, just for a quick comparison. I wish that I had a better story for these Iceriver miners, but Kaspa mining is just so competitive and difficult and that cryptocurrency in particular, it puts out a lot of money per day, but every month the amount of coins mined goes down, right? And you compare that to something like Dogecoin, where it doesn't have those intense deflationary, or I shouldn't say deflationary, but like decreasing tokenomic model. And then Doge is just like, we're a meme coin, here's a bunch of coins, congrats. Everybody gets a doggy. So basically the runway for Kaspa mining is a much shorter scenario, unless it blasts to just incredible high market caps. So anyway, that's where I'm at, that's where my head's at. A friendly reminder, I guess, if you will. Right now I'm just kind of taking some notes of what I've got out here, collecting all my stuff, things like power supplies. Actually, speaking of Iceriver, they've unveiled their box style miner. I love integrated power supplies like that one. I mean, it's just nice, it's simple, it's easy. You know, there's pros and cons, but mainly pros as far as I'm concerned. But hey, I'm Vosk, you're on the VoskCoin YouTube channel. Subscribe if you're trying to learn more and earn more and get after it with me. This is Tails, our CPO, or CPIO, our Chief Passive Income Officer here at the VoskCoin YouTube and mining farm. I'll see you later.